Hi there, this is Paul Thompson from Spitfire Audio. I'm going to show you today a very short and basic overview of the Spitfire Symphonic Collection. So the library is split up, as you can see, into three components: the strings, the brass and the woodwinds. You also get an exclusive library, Massa, which is like a combined blended library, but there's another walkthrough of that, so I'm not going to touch upon that this time. So what do you do once you've downloaded and installed the libraries into Contact using the Add Library function here? So let's open as an example the symphonic brass. You'll see that all of the individual instruments from the brass section are listed here. These are the basic patches that you find in the kind of core folder, the core instruments folder. And then there's further patches within here, which I'll show you in a second. And this is the same if you look in the instruments folder for the symphonic strings. You've got the core kind of patch here, which has the most commonly used articulations. And it's the same with the symphonic woodwinds. Again, you see all of the instruments here. And then the advanced folder contains the kind of extended functionality. So let's have a look at how we load a patch. We literally click and drag across to this window and the patch will open up. You'll see here that it's loading, and when the yellow light's gone and we're fully loaded here, then we're ready to go. You've got three views. You've got the easy mix view, which has a really simple kind of way of blending from a close sound right up to a more distant sound. And this is altering, if I click on the spanner, this is altering the mix of the mics here. You can do this directly simply by setting up the kind of mix that you want. And these three options here are the close mics, the Decca tree mic and the ambient mics. So if we go to a spiccato sound, what I'm doing here is I'm literally just clicking on these note icons to choose a different sound. So I click on the spiccato. So you get the idea. Click on the consort. I'm going to move some sliders here. So I'm controlling with CC1, I'm controlling the dynamics, and with CC11, I'm controlling the expression. And then we've also got vibrato control here as well. So with these controllers, you're moving them in real time and playing, you can really get an amazing amount of musicality into the sound that you're producing. So this is how you pick your articulation. We call that, it's a kind of patch or a sound, pizzicato for example. If I load up the ensembles, then you'll see that rather than just the range of the violins, we've got the whole keyboard here. So again, I can pick a spiccato. And you've got the full keyboard to play with. The third view, so we've had the easy mix and the spanner view or the expert view. The third view is the ostinatum. And if you check in the manual, you'll see how we control this. But I'm going to just set one up very, very quickly. I'm going to use chord mode. I'm going to put some semiquavers in. And I'm going to change these so that I can show you this as well. So if we now just I'll just boost the velocity of a few of these notes, and we've got chord mode on, so we're going to get, so let's change the mix so we've got kind of more close mic. We're going quite fast here, so it'll help you to hear. Now if we don't want chord mode, then we can go order pressed. So what this is doing is, as you can see, it's filling in the slots with the notes in the order that I press them. And as I release, obviously the order is changing. And then we're going in order press, but we could also go ascending. So whatever we play, it will always be 1, 2, 3 ascending. And then it's the key that you select in here. So if I go 1, 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you get the idea. It's very, very powerful, nice and easy to use. You can set up 8 different ostinatos in here. You can load and save patches. There's all kinds of functionality. Check out the manual. Very good explanation in the manual. So we've looked at the mic mixer. Beyond this, there is also velocity scaling control here. There's a collapser for the close mic if you want to collapse that and pan it in a different direction. That's possible as well. We've got a selection here which looks like a couple of musical notes, and that enables you to set up an independent mix for every single articulation. So if I switch that on and then I change to consort, change the mix balance, change back, you can see that it's saving on a per articulation basis the exact position of all of these mic sliders. And then we've got our kind of mix settings and presets, saving all that kind of stuff in here. Purge unused simply when you deselect anything. So these little memory chip icons I'm using here, I'm deselecting things and they are then being unloaded from memory. So that's another way to save your memory. We've got a transpose, which is very straightforward. We've got CC map velocity, so for the short notes. And if you want to use the mod wheel for that, so that's controlling the dynamics now instead. So let's turn that back off again. You've got our round robin functionality here. Again, check out the manual, nice and easy. Once you know one, you know them all. We've got our tightness control here, which kind of cuts slightly more into the short notes so that you get a slightly tighter sound. And we've got our releases, so you can go from, put the dynamics up. So that's a normal release. Here's a very short release and a very long release. If you're playing kind of chordally, that enables you to get a slightly smoother sound between the chord changes by blending the releases, giving you a slightly longer release. So that's looking at the expert view. Let's check into the advanced folder. We'll go to the performance legato first. This again, nice and easy to use. This is a monophonic patch that is set up to give you really incredibly easy to play. If you play staccato, then you hear staccato. If you play legato, then you hear a proper legato. If you play fast, you can play a run. If you play hard and fast, you can play across the strings or a kind of fast but not a kind of smeary run type sound. So you get the idea. It's simple load and play. And then within extended techniques, you've got a core and decorative techniques. So I'll give you a very quick look at those. And these are kind of just expanded versions of the initial two patches that you saw, where you've got all of the articulations that are recorded, everything from a kind of brushed consort, short, a short harmonic, Bartoks, we've got Collegnos, Sul G, Sul Tasto, our flautandos, really nice. So basically all of the different articulations in here. If we go to our decorative techniques, then again you're looking at more articulations, more kind of patches, but all kinds of stuff like minor third, major third. You've got some effects. You've got measured trems. And again, dynamically controllable. And then we've got things like our half longs consort blend, which is half the section playing consort, half normal. Beautiful, rich sound. So if we go back up a level, we've got individual articulations. So every single sound for a specific instrument. We've got legato techniques. These are the Sol G legatos in there. And other patches, which includes the economic and light resource patches, but also the time machine patches, where you can loosen or tighten the actual sound of the short notes. And that's achieved using the stretch control. So at a very, very extreme slow stretch, you start to hear the artifacts. And then you can really tighten it up incredibly short so that it's super tight. So it goes. So there's a lot of variation in there. You've got a useful section in the middle and your extreme sections with a kind of special effect at either end for those moments when you want to get really crazy. So that's the kind of folder structure. And then in the brass library, we can see here we've got an expansion installed. So in addition to the usual stuff that we've just gone through, we've also got CTAO mics. So you've got the extra outriggers in these. So it would literally be identical to this, but with the O mic as well. And then I'll just show you that. And then we've also got our alt mics, and the alt mics, if we load this up, it gives you the close ribbon mics, the stereo stage mics, and the gallery mics for the really distant sound. And then we've got our stereo mixes, Jake Jackson's 3 stereo mixes, which give you a kind of 3 different sounds. Fine sound, which is a really close, tight pop sound. Our medium sound, maybe what you might call an indie film sound. And then broad, which is kind of full Hollywood. So that's one way to save on system resources as well. So that's a very brief overview of the functionality and the way that the system is organized and the UI is organized for the Spitfire Symphonic Orchestra package. So check out the individual walkthroughs for each of these products to see all about the instruments that are contained within them and hear loads more of those being played. I hope that was informative and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye.